and welcome back to the Gorilla Biker. And today we have a cold yet crisp day in Kilkenny, and we're going to be talking about this bike. And what we're going to be talking about is the 5 things that I have decided I love about it. But number 1 is the engine. And what I mean by the engine is everything, and I mean everything about it. I like how it delivers power. I like how it feels when it's delivering the power. I like how it sounds, and that's one big thing, is the sound. And I know I kind of lambasted it before I put on what I would consider a proper exhaust, but since the proper exhaust has come to be, this bike sounds absolutely delectable. If it was a food dish, it'll be a good one. But the way it delivers power is just absolutely fantastic. It's not the fastest bike in existence, I'll be the first to say that. Nor is it the torquiest bike in existence, but it's really well. Don't you do it. Clown. But you know, this bike can do those pulls from whatever to the legal speed limit all day long, and they feel great and they sound great, and that is why I love how it delivers power. It's not too lumpy, you know, it's really smooth power delivery. It's a really predictable power delivery. And honestly, it's just kind of the perfect daily bike, because a lot of super powerful bikes, you know, their power delivery might be lumpy, which might make them unpredictable in wet conditions, unpredictable in cold, wintry conditions. But I ride all year round, so it's actually important to me that my daily bike is a predictable one. That's kind of you know, the bulk of it on. You know, it's just everything about the engine, I suppose. If you want to call it, even if you want to go all Formula 1 on it and call it the power unit, if you want to just say everything about the power unit, I just really like it. The gearbox is nice. The gearbox gearing is well spaced out. Nothing too tight, nothing too close together, nothing too far apart. The fact that it's also lovely and controllable at slow speeds and towns and stuff, because look, let's face it, I know everyone wants to think that, you know, they get up on their bike and they're Valentino Rossi all of the time. No one even lies to himself about being Marc Marquez, at least, because no one can emulate what that man can do on a bike. He's a god. The next thing that I want to mention, number 2 on my list, the comfort. I've said it before, it played a huge part in me buying this bike. Was I wanted something that was more comfortable for me daily use, and I recently jumped back on the Phaser to move it, because it's not been delivered to my Amigo yet. But I recently hopped back on that just to move it, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I made the right decision. This is just so comfortable for me, and you know, Toaster is more comfortable being 2 up on it and all that good stuff, so all of that makes a difference. The all-day comfort of this bike is fantastic. Like the day I went out, that you know, you've probably seen the 3 videos by now. If you haven't, go watch them. When me, Grant and Moto Dragon are out, I was on this bike the whole day, and you know, when we got back, I could have happily went off for even more time on it, because it was just so comfy. But just the comfort on this bike through the corners, you know, with another person on the back of it. I've had Toaster on this now in multiple videos and for, you know, multiple trips, and I think I've over 1,500 miles on it at this point since I bought it, and can confidently say that it is very comfy. The next thing on my list is its reputation. I like having a bike that a lot of people don't rate the way they should. I like having the dark horse. I like having the underdog in my stable. And everyone kind of, you know, they look at this bike and they say, oh, it's a Honda. You know, it's going to be reliable, it's going to be pretty good. But no one ever kind of thinks just how good it could be or is And I think it's absolutely fantastic, to be honest. And I like the fact that, you know, when I turn up, people say, hey, whoa, that's a lot better looking in the flesh than I thought it would be. Or, you know, stuff like that. It just, I don't know, it feeds into it for me, because I like having that sort of surprise package, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. It's just, I think, definitely that's one of the things that I like about this bike, that, you know, people don't really realize how good it is. It just means that, you know how good it is, and no matter what other people say, and then they get on it and they really are surprised. And one thing that I found very interesting was the fact that, Moto Dragon, when he rode this, he said it doesn't feel like 1,000. And I completely understand where he's coming from. It's a very smooth bike. It's very easy to handle. It's very, very composed. And it's that reputation that it got that, I think it's a good thing. Don't kill me, thank you. I think it's a good thing, because people are always surprised then. And anyway, that's my number 3. The fact that it has probably not amazing reputation. So it's like the pleasant surprise. You get home and you find out your dog hasn't shat on the carpet after you left it inside accidentally all day, that stuff like that. It's important. It makes a difference. And the next one, and this one is one that I really like. I love a lot more than I thought I would. I know, look, top boxes are contentious. Some people hate them, passionately hate them, and others couldn't be without them. Now, I remember I got, oh, that's a sharp turn. I got my Yamaha, and I went for years and years and years without a top box. And I thought that was fine. I thought I didn't need one. And then I went camping with Kev, who owns the Tracer, and I thought, wow, his top box really made his life better in this situation. So I decided, to buy one, and I probably should have went all in. I didn't go all in, and that probably affected me. I bought a Shad, and the top box itself is perfect, but the fitting kit was dreadful, as I said in the installation video for that. But that's the one thing that I really love about this bike, is the luggage on it. Like, so obviously at the moment I don't have my panniers on, and because I don't need them. But when I do have them on, this bike can it can carry so much stuff. Numero 5, number 5, Iver Akuig. Oh shit, that road is very stonesy there. So number 5 is one that will surprise some of you comrades. That's the looks. I really like the looks of this bike now. There's the saying that if you don't look back at your bike when you walk past it, you bought the wrong bike. Yeah, like I'm terrible at, I try not to look away at all. Like, even if I go into town and park somewhere to have some food, I want to keep my bike in my eye line so people can't mess with it. And I definitely always look back. So I don't think I bought the wrong one. Did it grow on me? Yes. It was like a fungus, I kind of saw it and I was like, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting fungus. It's an interesting looking bike. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. But I think that's the kind of, it allowed love to blossom. It wasn't the instant lust of seeing a Yamaha R1M where you're like, oh, that is the best looking bike I've ever seen and I want it in my mouth. We're going to stop here to have a little talkie-palkie. No, it's not like that. It's not like the R1M. It's like, the fine bouquet thingamajig. You gonna fall? You good? It's a good looking bike. And like I said, yes, okay, it grew on me. But it just never ceases to not look nice. And I know the top box, a lot of people have things about the top box, but I actually quite like it on there. It doesn't look as good as it does without it, but this bike, if you look at it right as it stands, it's quite flat you know, if that makes sense. When you take off the top box, it's quite a flat bike. With the top box on there, it looks kind of more like, you know, I don't know. I like it. I like it. I don't particularly like it without the lower fairings. And it's funny, one or two people suggested removing the fairings to spice up the bike, and I'm like, I bought a CBF, not a CB. Why would I buy a CBF if what I really wanted was a CB? That doesn't make sense. So anyone who's suggesting that it doesn't make sense, stop it. I do think though that the looks, two things on this list. Two things. Without the exhaust change, I wouldn't love the sound. And I wouldn't love the looks, because those original exhausts, in my opinion, look like shit. They're just awful looking. They really let down the rest of the bike. I don't like them. Just don't like them. So for both the noise and the looks thing, I definitely needed to do that. And now it's done. And now I have 5 things I love. And then honourable mention for this bike, the range per tank. It's really good. Like, I think the last, it's in miles. It's stuck in miles. I don't know. Can you change it? But the last time that I kind of let it go a bit, it was over 160 miles and I was getting towards needing to fill it. And then I filled it, but that's averaging out like over 40 mpg, so really, really good. Can't complain with that. Especially not because, you know, I like to accelerate between all of my braking points hard, you know, so I can't complain. And that also was going to work, so that was some motorway riding, which was kind of a fast average, you know, kind of this section on the motorway, maybe, if you're looking at it sideways in kilometers and stuff, if there's any Gjords watching. So if you've watched, thank you very much for watching. This building's really cool. I'm going to walk in there for the outro if you want to stay and see. But yeah, if you don't want to do that, as always, a very special thank you to my patrons. You're all legends, and I really do appreciate the feedback on this bike when I'm asking questions as to where we go next. So I like the interaction. Muchas gracias. Please keep doing it. And for everyone else, until next time, thank you again. I hope you like this bike. And until next time, adios. Outro crew, let's go have an old sconcing at this place, will we? Oh, that grass is really wet though. Oh, doesn't seem to be a way in. Some rubble dumped. We go over here. Don't die, Miguel. Oh, that's cool, man. Oh, there's like 2 levels to it. That's it, actually. Outro crew. I'm not going in today because I have to go home. But would you like me to come back a little bit more stealthily, dressed for exploring, and explore that building? Will I do that? Will I explore it? It's a bit abandoned looking on a nice quiet road. Not one car has passed me since I got here, so probably worth doing. Okay. Bye.